All right, let's just cut to the chase. Ever wonder if you're secretly just different? Like you handle things in a way that most people just can't wrap their heads around? What if I told you there are 5 undeniable signs that prove you're not just doing okay? You're actually operating on a level that puts you ahead of 90% of your friends. Now, before you go thinking this is about arrogance or who's got the biggest house, let's be clear. This isn't about looking down on anyone. It's about recognizing some seriously uncommon habits. Habits that scream high emotional intelligence, deep self-awareness, and a relentless drive for personal growth. These aren't traits you're born with, they're cultivated. They're the secret sauce that separates the high performers, the quiet achievers, the people who are truly writing their own story. From the rest of the crowd, if you find yourself nodding along to these, congratulations, you're in a rare club. Let's see if you make the cut. The first big sign? You are genuinely, profoundly comfortable being alone. Now, this isn't just about tolerating solitude, it's about actively enjoying it. Think about it. Most people are terrified of being by themselves. They need constant noise, constant company, constant external validation to feel okay. The idea of eating dinner solo in a restaurant? Unthinkable for many. Traveling alone? An absolute nightmare. They view empty space in their schedule as a void that must be filled, usually with distractions or other people's plans. They're constantly scrolling, constantly messaging, constantly seeking that next hit of external stimulus because the thought of sitting with their own thoughts feels like a punishment. But you embrace it. You find power in solitude. You might enjoy a quiet evening reading a book, getting lost in your own thoughts, or just wandering through a city by yourself. You see these moments not as lonely, but as opportunities for recharge, reflection, and creativity. It's not that you don't enjoy company, you do. But you choose your connections. You don't need them to fill some gaping hole inside you. This level of self-sufficiency is incredibly rare, and it tells the world, and more importantly, tells yourself that your worth isn't tied to who's around you. You are enough, all by yourself. Next up, and this one is a game changer for your mental peace. You let go of grudges effortlessly. I mean, truly effortlessly. Have you ever noticed how some people cling to grievances like they're a prized possession? They'll replay an old argument from 5 years ago as if it happened yesterday. They'll hold on to resentment against a former boss, a childhood friend, or even a distant relative, letting that negative energy fester and poison their present. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's exhausting, and it weighs them down, making them bitter and resistant to joy. You, on the other hand, understand that holding a grudge benefits absolutely no one, especially not you. You've mastered the art of forgiveness not because the other person necessarily deserves it, but because you deserve peace. You understand that forgiveness isn't about condoning bad behavior. It's about releasing yourself from the emotional shackles of anger and resentment. Maybe someone wronged you, maybe they disappointed you deeply. But instead of letting that person continue to occupy rent-free space in your head, you evict them. You prioritize your peace above the need to be. It frees up your mental energy, clearing the path for growth, creativity, and genuine joy. Your mind isn't a museum for past hurts, it's a workshop for future triumphs. The third sign you're ahead of the curve is simple, yet profoundly impactful. You say, for most people, all because they're afraid of disappointing others, afraid of being seen as unhelpful, or just afraid of conflict. They end up burned out, resentful, and constantly feeling like they're running on a hamster wheel of other people's priorities. Think about that friend who always says yes to extra work, even when their plate is overflowing, or agrees to attend every single social event, even if they're dreading it. They sacrifice their own well-being on the altar of people-pleasing. But you've learned that your time, your energy, and your peace are non-negotiable. You set firm boundaries, and you do it without a lengthy apology or a complex explanation. You decline invitations that don't align with your priorities. You say no to extra tasks that don't serve your goals. You walk away from relationships that drain you, and you do it with a quiet confidence that stems from high self-respect. You understand that saying it's an act of self-preservation, and it's a clear signal that you value your own well-being above the fleeting approval of others. Here's another big one. You take immediate action instead of waiting for motivation. This one might sting a little for some, but it's crucial. How many times have you heard someone say, Most people are caught in this trap. They believe motivation is a feeling that magically appears, a burst of inspiration that will propel them forward. So they wait, they procrastinate, and often that wave of motivation never comes, or it comes too late. They're perpetually stuck in the You, however, understand a fundamental truth. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You know that showing up even when you don't feel like it is how you build momentum. You get up early even when you're tired. You tackle the toughest task first, even when you'd rather scroll. You start that project before you feel 100% ready because you know that perfection is the enemy of good, and good enough gets you moving. This isn't about being a robot, it's about possessing discipline. It's the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of your fleeting moods or feelings. This separates the dreamers from the doers. You control your habits don't control you. And that, my friend, is a superpower. Finally, the fifth sign that truly sets you apart: you invest in yourself continuously. For most people, self-improvement is a sporadic endeavor. Maybe they'll try a new workout routine for a month, read a self-help book once a year, or think about therapy but never actually go. They plateau in their comfort zones, believing they've learned enough or achieved enough. They see personal growth as a luxury, not a necessity. They might even scoff at the idea of deliberately working on themselves, preferring to believe they're... But you? You treat self-improvement as a non-negotiable, a lifelong commitment. You're constantly learning new skills, whether it's a new language, a coding skill, or a practical craft. You devour nonfiction books, podcasts, and documentaries. You're open to therapy, coaching, or any tool that helps you understand yourself better and overcome your blind spots. You actively seek out discomfort because you know that's where growth happens. You understand that your mind, your body, and your spirit are your greatest assets, and you treat them as such. This isn't about chasing perfection, it's about chasing potential. It's evidence of a powerful growth mindset, a quiet understanding that the best version of yourself is always just around the corner. Waiting to be discovered through consistent effort. You're playing the long game, while many are stuck in the instant gratification cycle. So when we talk about being... what we're really talking about is being freer from the fear of saying no, freer from the paralysis of inaction, and freer from the stagnation of a closed mind. You're better at managing your own energy, your time, and your emotions. You live with intention while so many others drift through life on autopilot. You're achieving a quiet mastery over your own mind and habits, and frankly, that's the only ranking that truly matters. If you connected with these signs, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to unlock even more of your potential, make sure you check out this next video right here.